Hey guys, welcome back to the fourth installment in the beginning piano series in the Mangle Project YouTube channel. So far, we've looked at a few different chords that you can play in the right hand, and I've shown you also a few ways to spice up your playing. So we've seen chords like C major, E minor, A minor, F minor, and so on. I think by now we have 9 different chords under our belts. And the point of this entire series is to give you sort of practical tips, not to maybe focus too much on the theory or maybe to sort of alternate between them. The idea being that you don't really have to understand the theory to be able to play nicely. Now, today, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the left hand. The left hand is going to, so far it's been playing the bass note for each chord. And for a C major chord, this would be a C. Then for an A minor chord, or my cat wants to join in as well. For an A minor chord, this would be an A. For an F minor chord, this would be an F, and so on. And really what I'm going to show you today that you can tell a story not just with your right hand, but also with your left hand. So we're going to start out by playing a chord progression. And the chord progression will be C major, E minor, A minor, C major, F major, C major, D minor, G major. For the second half of the progression, we'll play C major, E minor, A minor, A major, D minor, F minor, C major. Now we've encountered all of these chords, and if you don't remember how to play them, go back to the first lesson and the third lesson, and there it's really laid out fairly simply. Now, in the right hand, what we're going to do is we're going to play a bass line, but this bass line isn't really going to be just the roots of the chords. We're going to play the following bass notes. And the rule is that we can play any note which makes up the chord. That's an allowable bass note. So for example, if you're playing a C major chord, it's made out of the notes C, E, and G. So far we've been playing the C as the bass, but you can also play an E or a G. All three are fine. So here are the notes we're going to play. C for the C major chord, B for the E minor chord, A for the A minor chord, G for the C major chord. For the first C major chord we played a C, but now we're playing a G. Then F for the F major chord, E for the C major chord, D for the D minor chord, G for the G major chord. And then in the second half, C for the C major chord, B for the E minor chord, A for the A minor chord, C sharp for the A major chord, and then we're going to start with a D for the D minor chord. We're going to play a D, and then D, E, and then we're going to climb up, playing a D, G, A flat, B flat for the F minor chord, and end up with the C for the C major chord, which ends this progression. Put together and playing a double bass in the left hand, or though you can play just a one note if you feel more comfortable with it, at least when you're starting out. Now, the interesting thing about this bass line is that it tells a story. The notes aren't just sort of following the names of the chords completely, but they have a very logical motion to them. You go, if I'll just play the bass, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, and then G, and then C, B, A, C sharp, D, D, E, F, G, A flat, B flat, C. Now all of these bass notes are permissible in the sense that each and every one of them is a note in the chord which it accompanies. But the idea is that there was thought put into it. There was thought put into it in the sense that we've chosen the particular notes that tell a story, that have a melody of their own. They don't just jump around from one root to the other root. So from F for F major to C for C major to A for A minor to F for F minor to A for A major and so on. They actually have motion, and this really introduces more interesting dynamics into your playing. So that's it for now. I hope you've learned an interesting new concept, and I challenge you to take any chord progression for a song you like and try to come up with these interesting bass motions and lines for yourself. That's it. I hope you've learned something interesting, and I'll see you next time.